Hi, my name's Lisa. Welcome to Creative Bird Studio. I just thought I'd come on and do a quick video / tutorial of this little folio ephemera keeper that I've been making. I just had this idea yesterday and I just came home and just put something together quickly, and so this is my prototype. And I have definitely learnt a few things from putting this together, and I do recommend making a prototype. So whenever you come up with something or try to make something for the first time, there's bound to be areas where you can learn or improve or change for next time. So I'm calling this my prototype. I glued my back piece of paper on before I did my stitching, and then I had to rip it off, which was not a nice process. So that's definitely a learning point for me. And also this little closure that I made is a bit flimsy, so I definitely am going to reinforce that for the next ones. But anyway, I think it is a good little prototype. And excuse me while I just plug my light back in, that just went out. One moment. Okay, we're back. We have light and the cord. Oh, and stuff falling. Okay, hopefully that's all good. Where was I? Okay, so this is my prototype, and basically it is just a little folio that opens up, and it has 4 little pockets which I have put some stickers in. I thought that would be a nice way to keep these stickers, and also a nice way to either put something like this in a journal as a signature, or just in a pocket, or as a happy mail. I just thought it was a super cute thing, so I'm going to show you how I made it. I have used a 6.5 inch Kaisercraft paper pad and 2 envelopes. Now these envelopes, I picked them up at an op shop. They were part of like a envelopes and note cards pack. I used the note cards for journal cards, and I've just had these envelopes left over, so I thought I shall use those. So what I have been doing is gluing 2 of the envelopes together to make the little flip out folio, which is quite a sturdy little thing. And if you would like to know, you can use any size envelope for this that you have. You'll just need to adjust your paper size accordingly. But mine, if you would like to know, are 11 centimeters by 14.5 centimeters. So that's what mine are. And I'm just going to move that out of the way, sorry. Okay, so step 1 is to glue 2 of your envelopes together. So to do that, you simply just open them up and then flip one over and tuck the flap inside the other one. Now just make sure that you've got a really nice fold and that everything is moving nicely. It's all good. And then you can glue. So the way I've been doing it, I'm sure there are other ways, is I've just been running a bit of glue along here and around that entire edge. Stick that down. I'm using art glitter glue. That's my favorite kind of glue to use, just because of how quick it dries and how strong it is. And then this one is a bit more tricky because we've got a glue inside this little flap. So maybe I haven't figured out the best way to do this bit yet. Just practicing. So let's see, especially with camera. what's going to be a good way to do it. No, I feel like this way is good. Right. I'm just going to run a thin bead of glue along those edges. Just peek inside, make sure I've got some glue. I do. And just stick that down. Right. So that is step 1. Step 2 is put your pin back in your glue. Very important. Right, the next step is to measure your, well, to choose your bits of paper actually. That probably should have been step 1, shouldn't it? I'm really winging this. So before I did step 1, I actually went through my little paper pad and I chose my pages. So this is going to be my front cover. This is going to be my inside left cover. This is going to be my inside right cover. And this is going to be my back. So the way that I liked torn edges, and I've got torn edges there. So the way that I measured my paper, these are my little pockets. I'm just going to put them there. The way that I measured was I literally just got my piece of paper and I just tore 2 centimeters off the side. Now the reason for that is because that's a good amount of paper to be able to tear with without making a mess of it. And I want my torn edge. So this is just me getting my torn edges on my paper. And 2 centimeters seems like a practical width to tear. Because if I try and tear little pieces like this, I'm going to have a lot of troubles. So I just prefer to tear 2 centimeters off the top, off the side and the bottom, sorry. So that leaves me with my piece of paper, which now has 2 torn edges, and I like to have like a very small border around the edge. So then I popped it onto my envelope like this, and then popped my ruler onto the side there. Just peek under and make sure it's relatively straight, and I tear there as well. Now I've done this a couple of times now, so I know that I need to tear off 4 centimeters here. So I'm just going to measure it, but the first one I did not measure it, I just did it that way. But because I've got the measurement, just going to tear that off. Now for the last one, we just put that in place on the front, how it's going to be. And then this one is a bit tricky because it is a smaller piece. That's about right. Just go slow, a bit at a time. Now I'm using the straight edge of a plastic ruler because I like the tear that that gives. It's kind of a straight tear. This ruler, I have actually melted one edge to give me more of a torn look, but I think it's a bit too torn. I'll just show you with this random piece of paper. So it's quite an uneven tear, which is not what I'm going for with this. And it would be hard to get my even little edge. So I'm just using the straight edge of a plastic ruler. Now, so I've got my first little piece, and that is going to be my front piece. I then would ink the edges of this one. I'm not going to ink on camera, but I would ink the edges of that one and proceed to tear my other bits of paper. So I might just do that, and I will speed up this part of the video for you so that you're not just watching me tear paper. you might have noticed then I didn't tear my little pieces off the top, just because I want to make sure that I get them all relatively the same. So to do that, I'm just going to lay my front piece on the top and just tear them one at a time. And I might lift this one off. Tear that one, lift this one off. Tear that one. Right, I think it goes like that. Right, so now I've got my 4 pieces. They're all the same size. That's going to be the front. That's going to be the inside cover. That's going to be this one. And then that is going to be the back. Right, so the next bit is to make my little reinforcements for my pockets. So for that I need, what do I need? I need this piece. Where's my other piece of that? This piece. So these are the pieces from my 2 inside sections. And what I need, 2 of them should already have a torn edge, which they do. So what I'll do is I just get those 2, line them up across my piece and tear that edge. And then these 2 that don't have a torn edge, I will tear. Doesn't matter where you tear it, just as long as you've got enough to tear. There we go. Now, they also will have 1 torn edge and 1 straight edge. So what I do is I turn it over, and this is my torn edge, which is going to be on the front of my pocket. So what I do is I fold, make sure my head's not in that, fold just shy of my torn edge. Just get my little bone folder, make sure that's nice and creased. So then that's what I've ended up with, is a little piece of paper, and you can just see the little white edge there of my torn edge. And then that's going to be the front. So just do that again. My torn edge is at the top here. Fold up to, but not over. And bone fold. So that's going to be the front. They don't have to be precise. It's literally a little reinforcement to go over the top of our pocket, so that when we're popping things in and out, they're not tearing the vellum. Okay, so I'll just show you with one of these. I would then ink my torn edges. And the top edge of the pocket. And then I have cut 4 pieces of vellum, which are going to be my pockets. 2 larger pockets at the bottom. 2 smaller ones bit further up. My pockets are, well, they should be the width of my piece of paper, which they are, and the bottom pocket is 5 centimeters tall, and the next pocket is 4 centimeters tall. And because this was 2 centimeters, it is folded in half, so that's going to cover the top 1 centimeter. So then what I would do is I will get a little bit of glue. This is art glitter glue as well. It's just in a smaller little thing that I'm trying to empty. So I just put a very small amount of glue there, and then sit that pocket, make sure it's nicely right up against the edge, and then a bit more glue. Sorry for the shadows. A bit more glue there. And there you have reinforced pocket. Now, you can make a decision here. It's up to you. It's personal preference. If you want to glue the same design on the same design with the background, but what I like to do is swap them for a little bit of contrast and extra interest. I like to swap them, so I'll be gluing this one here and this one here. So I'm not going to glue it just yet because my edges are not inked, but I just wanted to demonstrate how that bit's done, because I actually have another one here to the side which I'm going to use to show you a bit more. So I'm just going to pop all this over here. Right, so here's one I semi-prepared earlier, although I'm missing my envelopes because I used them to show you. There we go. Oh no, that's the one I was just... Somewhere I've got 2 envelopes that are already glued together. But I've lost them. Oh, here they are, right in front of me. So, here's one I prepared earlier. This is my front cover. So what I do is I pre-stitch around the front cover, just a nice little border. That's not getting glued on yet though. And then my inside cover is here. My large pocket, my smaller pocket. Here's one I have already glued the pockets, and again I've switched the designs for that little bit of interest. And then this is my back page piece, which has stitching around it already, and this is going to be my closure piece. So for this one, my closure piece, I chose 2 of my other 2 centimeter cut-offs. I've put them back to back, glued them together, and then I've just sewn up, along and back down on my sewing machine, inked the edges, and that's going to be my much sturdier closure for the next ones. So let me just take this out of the equation for a moment. So if I pop this one that I've already glued the pocket onto my mat, I'll be able to then use that one. And that's the other advantage of having a prototype as well, is that because I used my prototype to place these pockets. So I've popped my prototype next to this one and glued them in the same place. And now I'll use this one to glue these ones in the same place. So to do that, I just want the tiniest, bit more than nothing, but tiniest amount of glue. Come on. There we go. I am going to sew this, so I don't want a lot of glue for that reason. And I also, I really just want it to hold there while I sew. I could use clips and clip it, but I like a bit of glued reinforcement. So this one's easy because it obviously just goes right at the bottom. And then this one, I can see it sort of lines up with that line, which is 7 centimeters up. So I'll glue that one there. Right, so that's good. And then it isn't necessary, but if you really want to, you could go along these edges and just reinforce that inking a little bit more. And if you want to, before you glue down your pockets, you could actually ink that bottom edge as well, but I don't think it's that necessary. And the other thing you could do if you wanted to, before you glue your pockets down, is you could sew along that top edge as well. But again, I decided not to do that because I think it looks good just the way that it is. So the next thing is to glue these in. Again, I want to be quite light with the glue because I'm going to sew, and I don't want my sewing machine to get all sticky with the glue. So, oops. It's literally just to hold it. Should probably glue it in straight. There we go. And this one. Come on. This glue is almost empty, and that's why I'm using it, because I want to empty it so I can wash it out. But usually I would just be using my art glitter glue bottle, which does have the fine tip. And I used my art glitter glue bottle for quite a long time without the fine tip, because the plastic tip that comes on it is quite fine as well, and I thought that was quite alright for me. And then at some point I thought I'll give the fine tip a go, and yeah, I've just been using that since, and it is good as well. But I don't think it's 100% necessary, but it is good if you want those tiny little fine lines of glue. Right, so that is nicely adhered. So this is the point where I will sew around these pockets. Again, you've got a couple of decisions to make here. If you want to just sew around the entire page and then go across the bottom of that pocket, you could do that. I didn't. I just literally sewed a little U shape around all 4 pockets, and I think that looks quite fine. I'm happy with it. So, but yeah, that's personal preference. And I am just going to go and take this to my sewing machine and sew it quickly, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have sewn around my pockets. I'm just going to snip off my loose threads. Again, if you like the threads, you can leave them. I do like the threads, but I think there'll be enough happening. We don't need extra threads. Obviously sewing the pockets is optional. The art glitter glue is very good and it will keep them in place on its own. I just like the sewing for the extra look of how it looks, and also for the reinforcement of those pockets are not going anywhere, and it's really sturdy to say it's 2 envelopes. So this is my front cover, and I can stick my cover piece to the front, and that's going to cover up all my stitching of those pockets, which is what I want. I might just, I think that glue's becoming quite empty now, so I might just use this, because I want this to be glued down really well. Especially on these edges. Oops, bit of glue where I didn't want it there. Just going to go across. Right, that'll do. Right. Because it's going to go over that stitching, which is a bit bulky, just want extra glue to make sure that it's all nicely secured. I'm not sure what's going on with my sewing machine. I did have it serviced recently, but if you notice, just on that corner, see there's a hole there, but it's not holding the stitch in place, and it's just chucking it. It's done it on the pockets as well. See, there's a couple of stitches there where it's just jumped out of the corner. So I'm not sure. I might need to try and re-thread it or something. It is low on thread. I need to change my bobbin, but I was just trying to get as much of it used as possible. So now with your back cover, we're going to glue it on just the same, but we need to factor in the closure. So I think that this is going to look nice, sort of. Oh, that might look good. See, there's just this little frilly edge here. I might line it up there-ish. Fold it around. Make sure it's not too long, that it's going to be poking out, which it is. I'm just going to snip a bit off. So what I'm going to do while I'm holding this where I want it, is I'm just going to move it. Going to just put some glue on it. Maybe pop my back piece where I want that and stick that down, and then just got to make sure I got glue up to that edge. Right, and then I will put the rest of my glue There's going to be a bit of a lump where that is. It's kind of unavoidable, but we'll still try and put a decent amount of glue. Of course, there are other options for closures as well. You could do ribbon. You could pop a piece of ribbon under the back cover, wrap it around out from under the top cover and tie it. That would be cute. But I'm happy with this little paper one for now. And I'm just going to get my little Velcro dots. I knew there'd be something I would forget to have at the ready. I've got these clear Velcro dots that work quite well as a closure. So what I like to do is just take the fluffy bit and stick it there. And then I take the grippy bit and stick it to the fluffy bit so that they're grabbing each other like they will, and then press down so that glue sticks, and then voila, Velcro closure. Oops, I've left the pin out of my glue. I'm good at that. Right, so now I have prepared a little bit of a cluster for the front. So I like to, I mean, it doesn't necessarily need any more embellishing really, but I like to put a little something. So I chose this little, oh actually, now I'm just looking, I like that side better. Oh yes, I think that goes a bit, I think that goes better. Let's just switch. The beauty of double-sided scrapbooking paper, huh? I just pulled this out of my scrap bin before and thought, oh yeah, that's going to be good, but now I like that better. So I'm going to put that there. Yeah, that looks good. I like it. Just going to put a bit of... Now these little bits that I have, you probably can't see, they're off in a tray here. They are like I think it's called the collections packet. It's like, it coordinates with this. So when you buy this from Kaisercraft, they have like this little packet of die cuts and things that usually coordinates, and that's what this is. But I'm actually finding that some of the, like the die lot between the paper pad, and these little bits is a bit different. So for example, there's like some native things, and one is that colour and one is like this colour, and it's quite different to actually the pink of the paper pad as well. So I'm just trying to match the things that work well together, and I'll use the other things for different ones. It's just this little word. Right, I was going to put some threads maybe. I've got this little thing of threads, maybe the silver, and do I want maybe a little bit of that colour? Let's see what we can make from this. Oh, that was a bit scrunchy, wasn't it? I didn't want it to be that scrunchy. Just want some sort of a something, maybe a bit of maybe this colour, maybe not that colour. Let's get rid of that. I might just put a bit of glue here so it's got something to stick to. That's good. Try and tame these ends to stick somewhere. Come on. They do not want to play. There we go, that'll do. And well, now that's going to cover my, maybe we just stick with that. Maybe put a little bit of this. Yeah, I think we're getting there. I just want this purple bit out. Cute. Let's put some glue. Just gonna hold that for a minute. That looks very non-organic. Right, okay. So I've got this little foamy thing here. And I think I'm going to put my butterfly up on that. Nice. Well, I put that there. Or I put that there. I think I like it layered on top. We'll go with that. Let's just not overthink it. Right, nice. That's all stuck. Pin in glue, very important. So there you have it. That is my little ephemera folio thingamabob, made from 2 envelopes and a couple of bits of 6x6 paper. Let's put those little stickers in there just to see how they go. Nice. So yeah, I like this project because it's relatively quick. I mean, I know this video is probably not as quick as I wanted it to be, but that's because I'm showing you the process of making it. But once you sit down and actually start just focusing on them, making them, they're very satisfying because you can put one together in less than half an hour and you can have a bit of a production line going and make several, and you can have fun with all the different combinations of papers. And just noticing the last thing I did on the other one was ink all the way around the edges, and again, optional, completely not necessary, but just adds another little bit of dimension, depth, interest, all the things. Little stickers are threatening to fall out. I like my inked edges, so any opportunity to ink an edge, and I'm going to take it because I like how it looks. I'm going to ink the little curve there. Now I can see even though I've done double paper, I can see that bend is definitely getting some creases already. It's only been opened twice, and a little bit of a crack there, which sometimes can happen with scrapbooking paper. So I can just get my washi tape and see if we can add some further reinforcement. Actually, I've got these little washi tape stickers, and I feel like they could be good. Let's see, what have we got? Oh yeah, look at that, that goes nicely. Just going to use one of them and put a bit of glue. Washi tape can have a tendency to be removable. I mean, that's the whole point, right? So if we want to use it in the aspect of it not, it needs a bit of glue help. Now, I do not want to glue it over my stitching, so let's just start from the back. There we go. Cute. Now, might put a little bit of something on the inside. That should be alright. I'm just going to cut it. it's literally just to help that hinge to survive opening and closing as many times as we would like. And I might oh, these washi tape stickers are difficult to peel. I might need to experiment a little bit further with the closure options. Ribbon might be the way to go, or potentially reinforcing with washi tape before it's actually in place, because then this piece could have been going sort of under, but I think that's going to be fine. It's going to be just fine. I've lost my pen. Oh, there it is. So there we go. A little bit of washi tape on our hinge, just to give it that extra durability. I might, sorry, I know this video is actually getting a bit long now, but I might just, because that harsh line just finishes there, I'll stick another, I'm just going to stick no fingernails. Does not make for easy peeling of washi tape stickers. There we go. Making a mess now. Just put a little bit of glue there. It'll be fine. Right, I'm just going to put that. There we go. Good. So that is how I put together, oh, I don't have a bin, how I put together my little folio, and I think it's super cute. So I am going to go away and make some more of these, and I will probably do a super quick video just to show the different closure methods that I come up with, and what else I make. And yeah, that'll be it. So thank you for watching. Apologies, this was a bit longer than expected. Hope you hung in there with me, and that you go away and make some of these of your own. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment. I will do my best to answer. And if you enjoyed watching this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up for me, and perhaps subscribe to my channel so that you can see future videos. Thank you.